Hello, and welcome back to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. We're in the middle, actually not in the middle, we're rounding out the series of 6 Baird beers, and this one is a special one. It is probably the heaviest and strongest beer that they make. It's called Baird Dark Sky Imperial Stout. And this is an Imperial Stout at 10% alcohol, 80 international bittering units, so this is a heavy hitter. But let's talk a little bit about Baird Brewery. Brian Baird, the founder and owner, went to the United States from Japan in 1997 to study brewing, and he and his wife, they quit their jobs and decided they would study beer brewing. In 1996, laws changed and a lot of people were starting up breweries, and so they thought they would give it a go, but first some training, some education, and returned to Japan and started Baird Brewing in 2001. And they began in a small location which is called the Fish Market Tap Room. Fish Market because it's located in Numazu, which is a seaport, fishing port, a small town in Shizuoka Prefecture, about an hour or an hour and a half south of Tokyo. And a friend of mine actually lived in Numazu and eventually ended up working for him and becoming a brewer with Baird. They later expanded their capacity from 2,050 liters up to 1,000 liters, and then in 2014 they opened up a very large brewery in a nearby location called Shuzenji, and also in Shizuoka Prefecture. And they opened some tap rooms. Of course, they had a tap room in Numazu, and they opened one in Tokyo in 2008, and then they began opening more in Tokyo as well. They have a total of 5 in Tokyo now, and they also have one, of course, in Numazu at their original location, and they have one at Shuzenji at their brewery, and one in Hakuba, the famous skiing resort in Nagano Prefecture, one in Osaka, which is the most recently opened one, and one in Los Angeles, California. So you can get Baird Beer there in Los Angeles as well. So they've been very aggressive in expanding, and they have a number of series of beers. They have their regular year-round beers, and then seasonal beers, a fruitful life series of fruit beers. And this one is part of their seasonal beers. They have one for each season, and this is the winter one. And it's released every year in December. And so I picked this one up recently. It was released in December of 2019. It has a best by date of 2024 December, so 5 years, yeah. And I might even go beyond that, I don't know. In any case, this beer contains malt and some barley, which I guess is unmalted, wheat, hops, sugar, and yeast. The sugar is called, it's a Japanese dark cane sugar called kokuto, which I'm most familiar with is in a coffee, a type of coffee which a coffee chain in Japan produces, kokuto coffee. And the dark cane sugar adds a pretty strong character to it, I think. So again, this is the 4 seasons series for winter. Baird labels are always very interesting, sometimes hard to figure out. They're designed to look like woodblock prints, traditional Japanese woodblock prints, but with kind of a modernist edge, I think. And here, of course, we see the stormy seas, perhaps near Numazu, a lighthouse here with clouds and storm and waves breaking up over the, maybe over the breakwater at Numazu. So Dark Sky Imperial Stout. Let's open this up and see what we got. Again, it's 10% alcohol, and 80 international bittering units, so pretty high. On RateBeer, this one has 267 ratings for an average score of 3.68 out of 10, and out of 5, and 95 percentile for all beers on RateBeer, and 56 percentile for its style, Imperial Stout. A lot of competition, I think, in that category on RateBeer. Here we go. Okay, so it pours out very dark brown, near black. Not as much head as I would like. Let's see if we can swirl it up and get something more going here. Maybe a little bit later. Okay, aroma. Woo. Very heavy dark roast. Chocolate for sure. Smells like a rich dark chocolate cake. Smooth dark chocolate. Bittering is blended in very well. It picks up in mid-palate and kind of sits on the tongue and does not go away. So this beer has very long bitter tracks to it. This is smooth, chocolatey, very light kind of coffee note to it. Sugar, the dark sugar adds an extra dimension. Yeah, if you're a stout lover, this is a beer you would really, really, really enjoy. Very lightly warming. Again, 10% alcohol, so it's got some alcohol warmth to it. This is a beer you may want to try if you like heavy dark beers. It's again a heavy hitter. This is Dark Sky Imperial Stout from Baird Brewing, 10%, 80 IBUs. They do export to the U.S. I'm not sure if they export this one or not, but you can find this around Japan, certainly in the winter season. Maybe even late spring, and see what you think about this beer. Let me know. Leave me a comment, and I will reply. And I hope you subscribe to the channel. We're looking at all kinds of beers, primarily Japanese craft beers, but all sorts of beers. And I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Okay, this is the end of the series of Baird beers that we looked at, 6 of them. I hope you watch all the videos, and if you're interested in Japanese craft beer, go through. I have playlists. You can learn about all sorts of breweries like Baird, like Shiga Kogen. And take care. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.